Hey guys, Chris again, ClassicVWBugs.com, and in this video we're going to talk to you about a new product that was sent to me by ZALEX Industries. And I did a video a few years ago on the ZALEX Industry half ring mount that you can mount on your engine and start your engine on the bench. This one we're going to talk about the full ring, like you see here, that then mounts on his own engine stand that he makes. So guys, if you did want this kit, I'm going to have links in the description below the video where you can purchase this. This kit is made on demand, so if you did order the stand, it's going to probably take about 6 weeks to get it in. The ring will come in right away, and again, there'll be a coupon code in the link in the description below the video. So what this is for Porsche engines, or any engine really that can go on this stand will work. But we're going to do, of course, the 36 horsepower engine here that we just rebuilt, and we're going to start it on the stand. So why don't we get going here, and I'll show you how this all mounts up. Now, quickly on the stand itself, I had a few questions to the designer of this and what certain things meant. This tubular piece right here, if anybody has any questions about that, that was for the
911 heater box.
A 911 heater box, and then over here was for an oil sump, correct?
Yes, also for a Porsche.
On this arm that stuck out here, because when I looked at the stand itself, it looked a little awkward to me. I didn't know what certain elements were, so that's exactly what that is. But we're not going to have to utilize that for Beetle. We're just going to have to mount this up. Now, the best way to do this, of course, if you don't have a table jack like we have here, which is very ideal to put this on this stand, the best way, other way to do it would be to have a jack that can go underneath the engine, and you jack it up and put it on the stand here. Now, since it's low to the ground, that's really good. That gives it some good sturdy positioning there, so this thing's not going to wobble around. It's actually really good for higher end engines that are not going to rock around, since it's pretty low to the ground. It keeps this sturdy. So you got some sliders underneath the legs here, and you got some bolt-on wheels here. And this will collapse and fold down if you need it to break it apart and store it away somewhere. So that's pretty cool too. But all right, so why don't we put the starter ring on? It's best to just put it on loose for now. It just slides on like that. It comes with a 12-volt starter bushing. You're going to need, if you have a 6-volt car, you're going to need the 6-volt starter bushing, and that is sold separately. You're also going to need the starter box. And I showed that in a video that we did a couple years ago when we used the half ring. He does sell the starter box separate. So we're just going to put these nuts on loosely here. So there's our starter bushing there, like you see. Again, 6-volt bushing we have here, because we're going to put a 6-volt starter up to this flywheel because it's 36 horsepower and it's got the early flywheel.
Okay, loose.
Again, so we have a table jack here, which is a lot easier, but if you'd have your standard car jack, you just get underneath the engine, under where the oil pan is, and you would just jack it up. This does make life a lot easier.
Yeah, a little more. Keep going. Okay.
So see, you run just a bolt through, and here's your nut to fasten it on. For now, just do it finger tight, and then we'll bolt everything up. Tighten everything up together. There's 3 mounting spots we used. We did use that one here that's fastened, that's welded to the side of that frame. And we got the one here under the starter motor. Alright, so our ring is all mounted up on our stand. And here's the way it would look with the Beetle engine on this stand. Very, very cool. I definitely like this so far. It's also pretty good at sliding on the floor. I guess if you've got a nice smooth floor, this shouldn't be a problem to move this engine on this stand if you had to position it in your garage somewhere. Love the way this looks. It's actually very, very cool. I'm impressed. I think the build quality is very good also, guys. Again, give yourself some time. If you're going to order this, it takes them about 6 weeks to make the stand. So just to keep that in mind. But you're going to want to put the bundle together if you want the ring and the stand and the starter box. So keep in mind too, when you mount this, you won't be able to put the clutch and pressure plate on, as you will most likely hit the ring when it spins. I mean, there's some clearance there, but you don't have to put the clutch and pressure plate on when it comes to starting the engine on the stand. So to get yourself all situated here, what we did was, like in my last video, this is just like a snow blower, sort of a little gas tank we have here. Put a little mounting bracket on it. We mounted it here on the ring. Get yourself some fuel line, hook that up to your fuel line like we have here. This goes to the fuel pump, of course. So figure from chassis to the fuel pump. And then we also mounted a ground cable. Same spot where we mounted the fuel tank. So then we have here a 12-volt starter box that we're going to use. I did a review on this if you don't remember a few weeks past. Pretty cool box. It is 12 volt. We will run it through the 6-volt starter, which is okay. It's going to spin a little fast, but that's fine. As long as you don't hold on it and crank it so much, you won't burn out the starter at all. But we have that mounted here. You get yourself a ground cable here, just like you're going to a battery. And then got it going to our little alligator clips that we have on this control box. So I'll have a link in the description below the video if you're interested in this box. It's pretty cool to take this with you if you're ever stranded somewhere on the road with your Beetle. Now we're going to hook up our jumper box. So now we're hooking up our ZALEX starter box. This can also be purchased on the ZALEX Industries website. Again, link in the description below the video. And I had this box in the last video I showed on the half ring starter ring. And you just basically, each wire is labeled to where it's supposed to go. And if you pull up the cables here, they usually have indicators on them and where they're supposed to go. You show me those indicators, Steve? So there's written...
It says solenoid. It's a little dirty, but...
Yep.
We got one for the ignition, one for the oil.
Yep.
And one for the Jenny.
So just follow each of those leads and put them in their respective places, and then you will be able to just press the button on this box, and it's like turning the key, and you start it right up. If this is your first start on running an engine, make sure your oil light goes out. When you crank it, you want to disconnect it from the coil first. You don't want the car to ignite, or start rather. And so you don't want an ignition going to it, but you want it to crank to build up oil pressure. And once that light goes out, then you know you have oil pressure. Priming our carb with some fuel. I think we're ready to rock and roll here.
Ready? Here we go.
right, guys, so that's the ZALEX Industry stand, engine stand, starter ring, starter box, all in a kit that you can purchase. Links are in the description below the video where you can purchase this kit. Very, very cool. Engine did not even rock or rattle at all. Very sturdy stand, guys. Very well built, and I highly recommend it. So if you got any questions, pop me an email or leave it in the comments section below this video, and I'll catch you next time.